So I am just going to say, if there was ever a time you thought, I wonder if I should get into this Bitcoin thing, or right now might be that time, because an interesting thing is about to happen with Bitcoin come, I believe, July 9th. I'm going to read this to you, but the nitty-gritty is that currently, and since Bitcoin was started, I believe it was identical to the way it has been for the last, however many years. I think they started in 2011 or 2009 technically. Maybe it was 2011. And essentially they have this hash code, if you will. I'm going to try to explain this in layman's terms, that you can crack. And when it first came out, it was so easy. Your regular old computer could do it, and you'd get a Bitcoin. And if you crack the entire hash, you get 25 Bitcoin to your wallet. So as soon as more people got involved, the hash, every time a Bitcoin block is cracked, let's say, it gets a little bit harder to crack. So if you were able to crack it on your PC, your regular PC, in 3 hours, well, now it's going to take, I'm going to throw this out there, 4 hours. And the next time it gets cracked, it's 5 hours, right? And I don't know the exact algorithm time frame or whatever, but it's like that. Then it got to the point where you might as well throw your computer away, because your computer will not be able to produce any Bitcoins. But if you had these really powerful AMD or Radeon version of these gaming video cards, and you can stack a bunch of them in your PC with a motherboard that would hold like 6 of these, and a very powerful, or 2 actually, powerful power supplies to power that baby, you could then mine a bunch of Bitcoin again. And then that got to the point where that was not feasible. Took too long, so they came out with these other devices. Long story short, when you crack the code, you get 25 Bitcoins. And it's gotten exponentially harder over the years. Now, what's going to happen July 9th, I believe, is that you're going to get half of that. So no more 25 for cracking this code or the blockchain. You're now going to get 12 and a half. So what does that mean? You just got a payday cut in half. Your payday, you didn't get a raise, you got a deduction to the tune of 50% of what you were making. So the same electricity, the same hardware, everything that you've had, and you've been producing these Bitcoins, or whoever is out there doing it, just got a pay deduction of 50%, which means the rate of Bitcoins entering the system is now going to be cut down by 50%. That's the equivalent of oil being cut off. And I want to paint this picture. Imagine an environment where all of a sudden something has rattled people, and they all of a sudden realize, I need a car, I need to drive, I need oil. More so than ever before, while simultaneously finding out that the supply lines of oil have been cut in half. Is that a recipe? Is that a recipe for disaster? 8-ball, magic 8-ball. I'm not reading that because that it doesn't go in line with my question, with what I needed to say. Is yes or no? Twice it said no. Outlook not so good, but damn it, 8-ball, magic 8-ball, I'm going on with it anyways, because it's the truth. So imagine Bitcoin 25, whoever the hell's mining it right now, and I don't know what the exact numbers are of how many Bitcoins are coming in to existence per hour, per whatever, per day, per week. I don't know the number, because again, no matter what that number is, it's going to get harder and harder as they come online, because the hash gets harder to crack. So no matter what, it's becoming harder and harder and harder, which in and of itself would tell you less Bitcoin should be coming in. But then we have the amount that people are getting cut in half come July 9th. And the example of the oil thing I gave you, I'm going to go there right now as I'm doing this. Fiatleak.com. Oops, can't spell. And I'm going to add this right now. Do it live, like O'Reilly. F it, I'll do it live. and let you just look at that. Matter of fact, let's put it on this screen instead. How about that? That way I can kind of... And I want you to look, first of all, 9:12 p.m. Eastern Time. Let me go to Google here. What time is it in China? It's 9:13 a.m. in China. It's exactly 12 hours difference. Okay? So it's early morning, and as you can see, where the Bitcoins are absolutely flooding to, which is, I've showed you this chart. This is probably the third or fourth time I've showed you this live little chart here of where Bitcoin is going. And I said the first time I showed it, which was a matter of, I don't know, a week ago or so, I said, look at the unbelievable demand going to China. And in case you're wondering, well, what times are you checking, JSnip? I've checked where it's early morning here and late at night over there, and I see the same activity. Although I do see a little more USA activity, I see Chinese activity in Bitcoin blowing away America's activity. Right now, this is two different planets you're looking at. 9 o'clock at night, again, you could argue, well, people are chilling out at their house, they're not trading Bitcoin. Check tomorrow. I understand. I have been checking every day, and no matter what time of the day I'm checking, China is winning. They are buying Bitcoin. So my example of all of a sudden the floodgate opening of people wanting Bitcoin while about to be simultaneously July 9th, 25% of the Bitcoin coming online is cutting in half to 12.5. Oops. So as the club, in this case America, who's been stockpiling Bitcoin to help rig the market when they need to, is going to have to flood and sell. The difference is they can't do what they always do on any other market, which is print paper contracts that have no backing whatsoever, pretend like we have the actual product, such as futures contracts for gold, oil, wheat, corn, all of that. We just flood the market with contracts that we just printed up to make it seem like there's this huge flooding of these items, brings the price back down. Now it's stable. We don't have to do that again. Up, prices are rising in gold too fast. Flood the market with these paper contracts. Price comes down. They can't flood the market with paper Bitcoin. There's no such thing. So they've had to purchase it. And I'm here to tell you, I'm sure they've been getting their lion's share over this last year to 2 years. But now that's a big one there. That's a big one. They're going to have to start selling into the market. It's the only way to control the price rise. And I'm here to tell you, after we got into the $700 range, which, my phone's not in front of me. I was going to say it says from 571 US, but it's been like 650 today. I'm sure the club has flooded the Bitcoin market. But it's their only thing that they can do. So I have the question for the club. What are you going to do when you run out of selling into the market and the natural market, the real true market takes over? You will see an absolute explosion in the price of Bitcoin. So let me see if I can. Yeah, all right. I just want to make sure I can open that and talk at the same time to you. So it says the Bitcoin halving approaches. Miners Bitfury and BTCC not concerned. The second ever Bitcoin block reward halving, 50%, is estimated to take place in a little under 2 weeks, and the overall effects of this event are still somewhat of an unknown. There has been a run-up in the Bitcoin price over the past month, and many claim this is due to the upcoming halving, where the number of new Bitcoins created roughly every 10 minutes is cut in half from 25 to 12.5. Now that's interesting because there's a statistic I was looking for, where the number of new Bitcoins created roughly every 10 minutes now. It's taking 10 minutes to create 25 Bitcoins. Worldwide effort, 25 per 10 minutes. And it's about to go to 12.5. I'm telling you right now, if there was ever a time you thought or wondered, should I get into Bitcoin? This is the time to do it. This is the freaking time to do it, because as you can see from this chart, it is relentless in China. Absolutely relentless for these Bitcoin. So it says a slight drop in the network hash rate. Although these are the two guys they talked to, Vavilov and Mao, were contacted separately. They had similar views on the upcoming Bitcoin halving. One of the most common, probably negative effects of the halving discussed in the past has been the idea that the network hash rate will decline as a result of the lower number of Bitcoins released to miners on a regular schedule. In terms of this possible issue, Vavilov said, some decline in the Bitcoin network hash rate is expected, and we believe it will be insignificant. The most important thing is that even if the hash rate declines, it will not compromise the security of the Bitcoin network. As to the Bitcoin price, it surged close to 20% over the weekend spanning June 11th and June 12th, and it is a very robust appreciation. This is an indication that the halving event is regarded as a good thing for the Bitcoin industry, and it is positively impacting the market even before it takes place. So I don't need to continue reading that article. The point is, it's going to get cut in half. So every 10 minutes currently to produce 25 Bitcoin is now going to be every 10 minutes equals 12 and a half Bitcoin. And yes, 10 minutes may turn to 11 minutes, may turn to 12 minutes, may turn to 15 minutes, right? So we have all these forces saying Bitcoin is going to explode higher sooner or later. And I think we're going to see some serious fireworks in Bitcoin sooner rather than later. Talk to you guys later.